say it's a truly stunning qualifying lap.
Yeah, I think we had a great car this morning. My teammate did also an awesome job. So that put us in pole, so we are really happy and looking forward to that race.
Well, that's another story that'll be sort of once the race is over. But you've got, I mean, unbelievable advantage over most of the field. The 88 Mercedes beside you, though, is going to be a big threat.
Yeah, so we'll be in the race with the tire management and everything. So looking forward to it. For the moment, everything looks great. So we'll see who's the winners and how far or close we are.
Well, that kind of pace, it's not going to be a difficult afternoon. Thank you.
So Mathieu keeping it fairly buttoned up there, but I tell you, his teammates were massively impressed with his time when he got out of the car. Because apparently he got out and just went, well, that was a good one. But do not underestimate, particularly Raffaele Marciello, will be in the 88 car. Won't be started by the Italian race, it will be assisted. Duno started, but I think it ought to be.
Audio check 1 2 1 2. Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go racing here for the second race of the night here at Motive for the GT3 Sprint League here, round 5. This is race 10 of a 16 race season. Up towards the line, we've got Tynus on pole with Robe alongside him. Jazzman doing a last to first challenge here, starting from P15. Can he make it happen? As we're coming up towards the line, and it's green, green, green as we come down towards Copse Corner. Robe got a better start than Tynus, but Tynus is going to cover him off on the inside. They're going through Copse. Oh, gets into the curve a little bit though. Didn't get a great run at all, and Robe is going to get around the outside here, side by side between Tynus and Robe. And Robe there squeezes through up towards Maggots. So that's Robe now leading the race. Tynus tucks in for second place for the moment with Totally Zero behind them. Ludo side by side here with Crazy Legs here coming through Beckett, but gets the move held onto there as Shark Zulu trying to attack on the back of Crazy Legs coming through coming in towards Chapel Curve. But for the time being, Crazy Legs holds onto that one there. You've got Kev Sim behind them ahead of day, followed by Caprigia with Lol 3000, who seems to have been passed by Bolt. So Bolt's up ahead of Lol 3000 and Ericode's following him through. Who's that? TJ Carlo also starting at the back there, is in P11 now. So Lol 3000 is just behind TJ Carlo. Jazzman has picked off 2 drivers ahead of Ericode and Mario up into P13 in this race. But it's Robe leading, coming into the Bell chicane. But Tynus is attacking to the inside, and he's going to make that move stick. Surely Tynus around the outside here. Into Club Corner we go. Robe is going to still try and hold it on the inside. Tynus will go all the way round the outside there. Has the grip to do so, has the traction as well. And it's going to be side by side here between Robe and Tynus, still coming into Abbey. But Tynus gets it done. In fact, Robe there got a horrible run coming down the start finish straight. He's lost out to Totally Zero as well. So Totally Zero up into second place here, ahead of Robe. So it's Tynus from Totally Zero from Robe. And you can see here in the background, you've got Ludo with Crazy Legs on the inside there, going through Village. Into the loop they go. And Crazy Legs trying to hold it around the outside there of Ludo. But Ludo gets the better run here, coming into the loop, out onto the Wellington Straight. And it's still Ludo holding on from Crazy Legs, but for how much longer here? Coming down the Wellington Straight. Here we come, down towards Brooklands now. Crazy Legs looking to the inside here of Ludo. Into Brooklands we go. Is he going to send one down the inside? He's going to think about it, but he thinks better of it. Ludo there still keeping it around the outside there. Into Luffield now. Ludo still on the inside there, as Shark Zulu now trying to attack on these guys. Gets a better exit there than Crazy Legs out of Luffield. Here we go. He's going to now try and get past Ludo as well. Great stuff here from Shark Zulu. Has made up 3 places there in the space of 1 sector. Absolutely fantastic driving there, as he's now reverting back to the racing line there. He gets the move done, and Crazy Legs there also moving through ahead of Ludo. So Ludo losing out 2 places. Shark Zulu up 3 places there. Kev Sim waiting in the wings behind these guys with Dayright with them. And look who's on the back of this train. Jazzman in 9th place. He's made up 6 places in 1 lap, and he's now going to make up more as he's looking around the outside here of Day. Left the inside here into Beckett's. Oh, there's just enough space there for Jazzman to make his way through. Is he going to get the exit out of Chapel to get the run down the hangar straight to stay ahead? He is going to do so. What a move there from Jazzman. He's up into 7th place, making that look easy as he moved ahead of Day and Caprigia. And now Caprigia is going to try and attack on the back of Day into Stowe Corner. But Caprigia actually went a bit deep there and might be vulnerable here to TJ Carlo, who's looking to try and get a run here down towards Vale, but he's not going to be able to there. And Caprigia is going to hold on to that one for the time being. But Big winners here on that lap. Sharka Zulu and Jazzman making lots of gains there. Sharka Zulu up into 4th place, but he's 2 seconds off for a podium place with Totally Zero and Robe still on the back of Tynus. This could be a battle here. Who knows if Totally Zero and Robe can have the pace to keep Tynus on his toes here over the course of this second race of the night. Is Jazzman going to be able to make his way back through the pack and get himself on the podium? Can he even put Tynus under pressure in the latter part of this race? If he can get himself into 2nd place early and chase after him, he might have a chance of doing that, but it's going to be a hell of a tall order, I'll tell you that much. But Dave still on the back of Jazzman right now. Totally Zero has dropped off at the back of Tynus. You can see that's just over a second between Tynus and Totally Zero. There's Robe still putting him under pressure here. That's the battle that we saw for 4th and 5th in the first race. It's for 2nd and 3rd at the moment, as we see the rest of them there fighting through your shot, going through Brooklands. You can see Capriga is on the back of TJ Carlo. In fact, TJ Carlo's got ahead of Capriga up into P10, so that's a move for position there that TJ Carlo has done, and he gets himself into the top 10 as we see Bolt and Law 3000 battling out over 14th place at the moment as they're going through Brooklands here, coming towards the end of lap 2. And it's still Tynus leading the race ahead of Totally Zero right now as they're coming on the exit of Cops Corner here. 1.7 the gap between Tynus and Totally Zero at this point. You've got Robe there still keeping these guys honest here. He's still keeping Totally Zero very, very close here. Half a second between those two. Sharka Zulu's gapping this train of cars. Crazy Legs Ludo, Kev Sim and Jazzman. This 4-car train here battling over P5. Jazzman will be wanting to dispatch these guys as quickly as possible. He'll be wanting to waste minimal time here behind these guys as Crazy Legs here has got Ludo getting closer and closer to the back of him here down the hanger straight. There is Jazzman closer to the back of Kev Sim here. Into Stowe we go. Ludo in the meantime looking to the inside of Crazy Legs into Stowe corner. Crazy Legs going very deep there through Stowe. Is that going to allow Ludo to pull alongside here coming down towards Vale? It's not going to be a chance here for him as Jazzman wide onto the grass there into Vale, round the outside. Jazzman goes there, gets the move done on Kevsin, gets the move done on Ludo. Jazzman up 2 places there. You couldn't make it up. This man is poetry in motion. His racecraft is absolutely insane. He's not just quick over a lap. He's not just got the pace. He's got the skills to pay the bills when it comes to dicing it out with the drivers, going side by side. And Jazzman is into 6th place here in this second race of the night from P15 on the grid. We're on lap 3 of the race. The talent that this man has is absolutely insane. Tynus in the meantime still gapping Totally Zero. The gap's 2 seconds here, and Tynus needs to pull out the gap whilst he can, because he's not going to have the luxury of having Jazzman in traffic for the entirety of this race. Jazzman is picking his way through this pack. He is carving through his pack like a hot knife through butter at the moment. He is absolutely demolishing everything in his way. He's just tearing through it. He's just absolutely slicing away at every single person who's in front of him right now as he's coming out of Luffield on the back of Crazy Legs here, coming through Woodcote here at the end of lap 3 of the race. You can see he's getting closer and closer to the back of him here in that slipstream. Can he make a move into Cops Corner? He's a little bit too far away. It's not really an overtaking point there. We saw Hamilton do it on Verstappen a couple of years ago and it didn't really work out, although in the end it kind of did work out for Hamilton, albeit not intentionally, we hope. But Jazzman gets a good run there out of Cops and into Maggers. He gets around Crazy Legs up into P5, so Jazzman there up another place into the top 5, and he's only about 6 or 7 seconds off of the lead at this point. So he's already putting Tynus under pressure, and we're not even, well, we're only 3.5 laps into this race, and he's already probably got Tynus thinking, oh god, where is he? Because Jazzman there, you can see within 2 seconds of Sharka Zulu. Sharka Zulu is 6.5 seconds off for the lead. So yeah, the gap's about 8 seconds that Jazzman is off for the lead of Tynus. I think that might be a bit of a tall order for him to overhaul that much of a gap, especially when you consider that there's traffic in between him. He's still got to negotiate Sharka Zulu, Robe, Totally Zero. How much of a fight are these guys going to put up? Is he even going to be able to get past them? That's also another question, because if they defend really well, he might not even finish in second. He might not even be on the podium. Who knows what's going to happen here? But currently the gap to Tynus nearly 10 seconds, and I reckon it's going to be more than 10 seconds. By the time he gets up to the podium places, the gap's going to be more than 10 seconds, because all the time he's spending in traffic, he's going to be losing time to Tynus. Tynus is just out in front. He's got a clear track in front of him. He's got no bothers, no cares in the world. He can just get his foot down and just do his thing at the moment, and he's doing exactly that here. 3 seconds is gap over Totally Zero at the moment, who in turn has got 3 seconds back to Robo. I think Robo's made a mistake here. He's falling back into the clutches of Sharka Zulu, and now Jazzman, who is looming on the horizon there. Crazy Legs and Ludo still running in 6th and 7th places. You've got Kev Sim there ahead of TJ Carlo in 9th place. There's Day ahead of Caprigia running in 10th and 11th places respectively. Mario there running in 12th, couple of seconds ahead of Ericode there. And these guys well clear of the battle between Bolt and Lowell 3000, who are scrapping it out over P14 here. Down the Wellington straight we go, but Lowell 3000 still a little bit too far back here to send one there on Bolt for the time being. Jazzman still on the back of Sharka Zulu here. There's Crazy Legs just ahead of Ludo as they're going through Maggots and Beckett. So you've got Kev Sim still keeping TJ Carlo at bay. Plenty of battles going on wherever you look at the moment. There's action aplenty here in this second race of the night. Tynus is currently running away with the lead a little bit, but the battle for the podium place is very much on here as Sharka Zulu is coming under heavy pressure here from Jazzman. Jazzman looking to the outside here into Stowe Corner. He's going to try around the outside. Sharka Zulu parks his car on the inside, but he's not got enough momentum here. Jazzman's going to swoop around the outside. He'll have the inside for Vale. They're still side by side. Sharka Zulu slightly ahead coming into the braking zone, but Jazzman here is going to surely have the line, the preferred line, and he does get it done there into the second part of the Vale chicane we go. Jazzman's easily done that one, and through Club we go out onto the Hamilton straight. Jazzman is up into 4th place and now knocking on the door of a podium place. There is our 3rd place man Roby. There is Jazzman. There is Sharka Zulu, and there is Crazy Legs, who's been passed by Ludo now. So Ludo up into P6. Ludo gaining a place there coming through this middle sector. So well done there to him. Kev Sim still just ahead of TJ Carlo, still keeping him behind him. Doing a good job right now of managing to make his car as wide as he possibly can here. But Ludo into 6th place ahead of Crazy Legs. Tynus still leading the race by 3.5 seconds over Totally Zero. There's Robe in 3rd place ahead of Jazzman with Sharka Zulu on the back of him. You've got Ludo there still ahead of Crazy Legs. So you've got TJ Carlo attacking on the back of Kev Sim there into Brooklands. They here defending the inside from Caprigia as they're coming into Brooklands, but still no dice, nothing doing there between those guys. Ericode still running in 12th ahead of Mario. And then you've got Bolt there running in 14th, and he's now well clear of Lowell 3000. So I think Lowell 3000 must have made a mistake there because they were having a battle there, but now there's 5 seconds separating them. So looking like Lowell 3000's dropped it or had an incident somewhere out there. Jazzman is now right on the back of Robe here as they're coming through Magus, Beckett's and Chapel. He'll surely look to try and get a run coming out of the Chapel curve, which might give him the opportunity to make a move into Stowe Corner. Onto the grass slip there was a little bit too much. Robe defending that. He's looking to park it on the inside here. Jazzman's going to have to get this one round the long way here. 2 South African drivers here running within a few metres of each other. Jazzman looking to the outside here into Stowe. Robe there, textbook defensive driving, putting his car exactly where it needs to be, and Jazzman can't get it done. Jazzman found it a little bit easy getting ahead of Sharka Zulu, but Robe, we know that Robe has got unbelievable finesse when it comes to defending his position. He knows exactly where to park his car. He knows exactly how to force his opponent's hand and then block off whatever they try and do. And he does it really to perfection. He rarely makes any mistakes here when it comes to defensive driving. And Robe here, for the time being, still holding on to this 3rd place position. We look at the rest of them there. Ludo, Crazy Legs, Kev Sim, TJ Carlo, a 4-way battle there for P6, still raging on at the moment, but Jazzman still trying to pile this pressure on the back of Robe here as they come through the loop here on lap 6. Tynus in the meantime well out in front and seems to have this race pretty much within his grasp at this point. Kev Sim here having to defend the inside from TJ Carlo, who's looking to the outside here into Brooklands. Can't make a move around in there, and Kev Sim hold that one on the inside for the time being. TJ Carlo looking to try and get around into Luffield, but still can't make anything happen just there. Then Kev Sim just doing what he has to do for the time being, keeping onto that one nicely. Robe still just ahead of Jazzman as they're coming into Cops Corner. You can see 0.3 of a second between those two as they've got Sharka Zulu just under 2 seconds behind them. TJ Carlo now looking to the inside here of Kev Sim into Cops, but it's not really an overtaking spot. Let's go back to the battle here. Fourth between Robe and Jazzman. This was the time where Jazzman looked a little bit close on the previous lap. This time around, Robe seems to actually have more of a comfortable gap here. So seems to be settling into this third spot and doesn't seem to be overcome at all with the pressure that Jazzman's putting him under. Here we come down towards Vale once again. Jazzman looking to the outside. Robe once again parking his car on the inside, but Jazzman is going to go all the way around the outside there and manages to keep the grip there on the inside of the second part of Vale. Goes a little bit deep there, but manages to get the car turned in for Club, and Jazzman with a fantastic manoeuvre around the outside of the Vale chicane. I've done that one a couple of times in the touring cars and it feels sweet as when you make it stick. Jazzman into third place. Fantastic stuff there from him. Well impressed with that move. Jazzman's a driver who obviously we come to expect that kind of thing from him, but nonetheless you've got to take your hat off to that kind of driving, because that is spectacular when you make it work. And Jazzman into third place, and he's still got the gap at 8 seconds to Tynus, so if he were to get himself in clean air he might have a chance of running that gap down a little bit. He's got 2 seconds up the road now to Totally Zero, who's running in second place, and he'll be hoping to dispatch him as soon as he possibly can. First he's got to catch up to him, but yeah, if he can make light work of getting ahead of Totally Zero, it'd be interesting to see if he's got enough time in this race to close down Tynus in the house. I reckon he might not though, because we had 16 laps in the first race, so we're probably going to have 9 laps left from this point that we're at now. So I would say in theory, with 9 laps left, the gap's 8 seconds, we'd have to lap best part of a second a lap quicker than Tynus if he were to catch up to him and have a chance of passing him before the end of the race. I don't think that's doable, to be perfectly honest with you. Unless Tynus makes a mistake, I think that he should have this second race of the night in the bag. But Jazzman here, only 1.3 behind Totally Zero as they come into Stowe. Crazy looks, still got Kev Sim on the back of him. TJ Carlo with them as well. Capriga just about within a second of day at this stage. Bolt has got low 3000 on his inside here. All bit of contact there as they came into Stowe corner. Down the inside, low 3000 goes. Bolt holding it around the outside really well. Managing to hold on to that one. Brilliant driving there from Bolt. These guys battling out over P14, but they're fighting it out as if they're battling for a podium place. Oh, as Bolt rattles over those sausage curbs there on the inside of Vale, but gets away with it by the looks of it. TJ Carlo threw a little feint to the inside of Kev Sim there, trying to put him under some pressure, but Kev Sim not taking the bait. Called that bluff nicely there, but Totally Zero still in P2 at this point ahead of Jazzman. Into Cops we come once again here. Start of lap 9. We're over halfway through this race. Jazzman trying to pile this pressure on. He's only 7.2 seconds behind Tynus, so he's actually closing in on the race leader despite being stuck behind Totally Zero. Has Tynus got a problem out front maybe? Or is he just taking it a little bit easy knowing that he's got a reasonable cushion here? Here we go nonetheless. Jazzman looking to the outside here of Totally Zero. Can he make this one look easier than he did with Robe? It took him a couple of laps with Robe. Totally Zero parking his car on the inside. Jazzman is going to swoop around the outside of Stowe corner. He'll have the inside for Vale as well. He doesn't need the inside for Vale because he's already cleared Totally Zero there going in towards the corner. Here we come. Jazzman on the inside gets the move done. Easy pickings there for Jazzman into second place. Made that one look a lot easier than he did with Robe. And he's into second place. And that's obviously now Totally Zero is now running in third place. He's a couple of seconds clear of Robe. Are we going to be seeing a similar battle between those two? Can Robe catch up to Totally Zero and put him under some pressure for that podium spot? That'll be interesting to watch. But Jazzman into P2 now. Let's keep an eye on what the gap is between Tynus and Jazzman, because that's going to be crucial to the closing stages of this race. Probably going to be a 16 lap race altogether. The gap is just under 7 seconds, so Jazzman would have to lap a second lap quicker than Tynus if he wants to win this race. That, I think, is probably a bit of a tall order. His overall pace, I'd say, is about a half a second a lap quicker than Tynus, so he might be able to get close within about 3 or 4 seconds, but I don't think he's going to be able to beat him here in this second race. I think that Tynus in the house should be able to see this one out, as Crazy Legs still ahead of Kev Sim and TJ Carlo at this point. They're still running in the final top 10 spot here, ahead of Capriga at this stage, as they're coming down the Wellington straight here. Jazzman's already clearly capped Totally Zero by, well, I was going to say over a second, but it's best part of a second on a timing board by the looks of it. The gap's come down 2 tenths between Tynus and Jazzman just in the first sector alone there. Crazy Legs has still got Kev Sim on the back of him. This is way battle for 7th place, which Ludo seems to have cleared. Ludo's starting to gain now on Sharka Zulu as well. Only a second and a half between Sharka Zulu and Ludo. In fact, it looks like less than that now as well. So Ludo could be putting him under a bit of pressure here pretty soon, you would imagine. Oh! That's Kev Sim there making a mistake, and he's going to lose out to TJ Carlo surely coming into Village. TJ Carlo goes deep there and actually gives Kev Sim the place back again. So Kev Sim there holding on to that one. TJ Carlo, I think, bottled that one a little bit. I'm sure he'd agree with me there. But Tynus is still leading by 6 seconds over Jazzman. Jazzman there coming through Luffield. The gap's been closed by nearly a second just on this lap alone. So I was saying before how Jazzman's got to gain a second a lap on Tynus to win this race. I mean, on current form it's not looking impossible, but Tynus did just gain 3 tenths on Jazzman in that final sector. So Jazzman's overall gain on that lap was 4 tenths. 4 tenths a lap will not do it, not even close for Jazzman. Jazzman's gap to Totally Zero just under 2 seconds now. Roby's keeping the gap to Totally Zero at about 2 seconds. It's not really going up, it's not really going down, it's just kind of staying the same at this point. Bolton, Lowell 3000 still having a great fight here for 14th place. Look at these two, they've been neck and neck since day dot here in this race. Oh no, Bolt's made a mistake there going through Brooklands, goes wide into the grass there. As Lowell 3000 goes wide there through Luffield though, and they're still side by side. And Bolt there managing to get a good run there coming out of Luffield. But Lowell 3000 though with a better exit because he had the wider line, which meant he could carry more speed. They are still side by side here coming down the start finish straight as they are coming in towards Cops Corner now. Lowell 3000 around the outside and Bolt has to tuck in there for the time being. But these two having a great scrap for 14th place. You wouldn't know it's 14th place the way just watching them. It looks like they're scrapping it out for podium place here, the way that they're going at it. But Lowell 3000 for the time being holding on to that one ahead of Bolt. But Bolt putting him under tremendous pressure here in this one. Battle for P5, Ludo, Sharka Zulu, Crazy Legs, Kev Sim and TJ Carlo. You've got 5 of them separate about 4 seconds at this point. Ludo though pulling away a little bit from Sharka Zulu. In fact, they're all kind of pulling away from each other a little bit here, to be honest with you. Kev Sim though coming under pressure from TJ Carlo. Down towards Brooklyn as we come once again. Obviously we saw Kev Sim making a mistake on the previous lap, which allowed TJ Carlo to briefly take the position, but then TJ Carlo made a mistake immediately after taking the position, which dropped him back down to P9 straight away again. Oh, as he gets a massive slide there onto the curb, did TJ Carlo, really pushing his luck there. I tell you, that was a close call there for him. Tynus in the meantime still leading this race ahead of Jazzman. Nearly 6 seconds is the gap. Totally Zero there still running in 3rd place ahead of Roby. Ludo there 4th ahead of Sharka Zulu with Crazy Legs there ahead of Kev Sim. TJ Carlo, Dayler still going in P10 at the moment. And you've got Caprilia, who's running a little way ahead of Error Code. Mario still going in P13 ahead of Level 3000 and Bolt. Here we come down the Wellington straight. Shark Azulu weathering heavy pressure here from Crazy Legs into Brooklyn as we go. Kev in the meantime has got TJ Carter looking to his outside here. Can he go for a bit of a cutback? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Keston's parking his car in the right place there. Gets a bit of a twitch there. They're coming out of Brooklyn's into Luffield we go. TJ Carlo's not going to be able to get around here. Out of Luffield, it's still going to be Keston holding onto that one by the skin of his teeth here. Shark Azulu still P6 ahead of Crazy Legs as they're coming over the start finish line. See Ludo in the foreground there, gapping these guys nearly just over 2 seconds. He's got over those two, with the other two, Kepsim and TJ Carlo, still fighting it out there for 8th place. Keeping an eye on the gap between Tynus and Jazzman because it's about 5 seconds. Jazzman is gaining on Tynus, but on average he's gaining about half a second a lap, but that's not going to be enough as things stand. He will fall short by about 3 or 4 seconds, I reckon it's going to be, by the time we get to the end. Oh, TJ Carlo very wide there coming out of Aintree and just got dipped away onto the grass there, living dangerously but surviving nonetheless. Crazy Legs still right at the back of Shark Azulu here as they're coming out onto the Wellington straight. Shark Azulu a bit wide there but kept the momentum nonetheless. You risk completely losing it there. You can get sideways on the grass and you end up binning it into the wall on the right hand side. We all saw what happened there with Kimi Räikkönen a few years ago in the F1 on the opening lap. Shark is, well, not all of us, because some of us weren't old enough, some of us don't watch F1, some of us weren't watching F1 back then, so not all of us, but your boy was. But here we come then. Crazy Legs looking to the inside of Shark Azulu into Cops, just a bit too far back there. Thought about putting a wheel alongside, but ended up thinking better of it there. Shark Azulu and Crazy Legs here, coming down the hangar straight, should I say. 0.4 of a second apart. Kev Sim and TJ Carlo very close there. TJ Carlo a little bit closer there into Stoke corner, but just a little bit too far away again there. Not really able to put the pressure on that I'm sure he'd like to be at this point. Gap between Tynus and Jazzman is 3.8. Tell you what, if we have an additional lap here, then this could put Tynus under some pressure. Probably not enough pressure because he's got obviously enough of a gap, as we say, 3 seconds. That's you know, more than enough over 2 laps with the pace that he's got. Jazzman shouldn't get within 2 seconds of Tynus, I reckon. Based on my judgment of how this race has gone with these two's pace, Jazzman theoretically should not be getting within 2 seconds of Tynus by the time we get to the checkered flag here. But if Tynus makes a mistake or starts to feel that pressure a little bit, things could all change. But the gap 3.6, Tynus extended the gap a little bit through the final sector. Watching the battle for P6, Shark Azuli went a bit wide there coming through Brooklands. That might allow Crazy Legs just get a little bit closer here. TJ Carlo has got ahead of Kev Sims, so he's made the move. Kev Sim's got damage, he's got huge damage on that BMW. So I don't know what's happened here to Kev Sim, but that looks like it's been through the shredder there. And TJ Carlo also has got damage, so clearly a collision there between those two. Hopefully it was a racing incident and nobody took the other out, but TJ Carlo nonetheless upper place due to that. Shark Azuli and Crazy Legs here coming out of Chapel Curve here on lap 15 of the race. Capriglia there in the pits. Here we come then, over the line to start the final lap. Tynus in the house, has got a 3-second gap over Jazzman. Extended his gap a little bit actually that time in the final sector, although albeit Jazzman gained 4/10 over the entire lap, but it's too little too late here. Jazzman started from the back, P15. A fantastic performance to carve his way through the pack, but he's going to come up just a little bit short here. Tynus in the house took his opportunity. Oh, as he makes a mistake there coming through Chapel onto the grass. Let's not speak too soon here. He needs to get it through this final lap. Let's hope he can keep it together here. Into Stowe he comes for the final time. 2 seconds now the gap, 2.2, so Jazzman's gained on him with that mistake there. Into Vale we go. It should be enough here for Tynus, I think. As long as he doesn't make any more mistakes here, he should be able to see this one out onto the Hamilton straight here. Just under 2 seconds I reckon that gap is, looking at it with the naked eye. We'll see once they get through to the next timing beam. Oh, it's under 2 seconds, it's now about 1.6. I make that, looking at that with the naked eye. We'll see once they get to this next point, but yeah, I'll tell you what I think it is. That, yeah, just under 2 seconds there. But Tynus in the house I think should be alright as they come down the Wellington straight here for the final time. Just 3 corners left to go here at Silverstone for the second race of the night here for the GT3 Sprint League. Tynus in the house had to settle for second best in the first race with Jazzman starting on pole and converting that to a win, but this time around Jazzman had to start from the back, didn't get a lap in the one-shot qualifying session, meant he had to come from 15th on the grid. He managed to get into second place, but he's come up just a little bit short here. Tynus in the house coming out of Woodcote for the final time. He's going to take the second race win here for race 10 of this 16 race season here for the GT3 Sprint League. Tynus in the house, a championship leader, extending his gap once again. Jazzman coming over to take second place. A good drive here, a fantastic drive should I say, from 15th on the grid. Totally Zero comes over to take the final spot on the podium. I'm sure he'll be chuffed to bits with that one. Robe coming over to take 4th place in the end, ahead of Ludo, who finishes in P5. Shark Azuli comes over to finish this one in 6th place in the end, ahead of Crazy Legs, who finishes in 7th. TJ Carlo comes over to take 8th in the end, ahead of Kev Sim, who's going to come around to finish this one in 9th place on the road. It's going to be Day who's going to finish this one in P10. So he comes out at the final corner here, or rather the second to last corner, Luffield, and then the final corner, Woodcote. P10 in the end for Day. Some good points in the back here from him tonight. Error code here into Brooklands for the final time. Jumping in as a late stand-in for this second race. Well done to him. Respect obviously for jumping in at the 11th hour. Didn't get any time to practice, just jumped in completely blind, and yeah, big thanks to Error code here for making up the numbers here for this second race as he comes over the line. Mario's going to come out of the final, or the Luffield should I say, to finish in P12 here in this second race. P9 in the first race, P12 in the second race. Sure he's not going to be too disappointed with that. Lowell 3000 out of Woodcote here to take P13. Well clear of Bolt in the end, who he was having a battle with in the earlier part of the race, but looks like that one petered out. Maybe Bolt made a mistake of some sort, but Bolt here taking a P10 and a P14 on his debut here tonight at Motive. Not too shabby. Caprigia retired a couple of laps from the end, and Max Power obviously didn't take the start for the second race. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in here. As always, live on the Motive Racing YouTube channel. If you guys did enjoy, then please do smash the like button. If you're one of the drivers watching this back, then please share it with your friends, family members and otherwise associates. And if you're watching us for the first time, if you're a newcomer to the channel and you want to get involved, then be sure to go to www.motiveracing.com. You can join our Discord server, you can get involved in the leagues which run on Wednesdays and Sundays here on the PlayStation 5 and ACC. We've also got F1 starting up quite soon as well on Friday nights, and Project Cars 2 will be returning on Tuesday and Thursday nights in September as well. Obviously about 5 or 6 weeks away, but yeah, that's all in the pipeline very soon. But yeah, thanks everybody once again. We'll see you all soon. Join us on Sunday for the GT3 Championship Round 5. Forgotten where we're at actually for the next one for Sundays. We'll just check though. So we'll be at Paul Ricard. It's an unpopular circuit, I can tell you. But yeah, looking forward to that. We'll see you then, guys. Thanks everybody once again, and yeah, laters.